And it's time for me to review WrestleMania Night 2. And my god, this was a big one. And we started off strong with this one. I can't wait to get down to it because WrestleMania Night 1 ended with the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, where Paul Heyman betrayed CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We'll have to wait and see where this goes in the future. But Seth Rollins ended up with the bang in his triple threat match. Well, Night 2 started off with a triple threat match of its own. As we started off on Night 2 of WrestleMania, my god, on Sunday night, I watched it on Monday. It was a banger of a triple threat match. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. That, my god, was one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen at WrestleMania, or of all time, because it was so many close finishes. I would never ever thought I would see it, where it basically ended. The match ended like this: Rhea Ripley hitting, I think it was an avalanche. Uh, yes, a riptide off the top rope. Bianca Belair hitting the hitting her finisher maneuver. Kiss of death. I have to admit that. And then, but that was broken up by Io Sky with an over the moonsault off the top rope, and well, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Still the women's world champion, Io Sky. And the next match was the Sin City Street Fight between Drew McIntyre, who came out looking like Doomslayer, and, well, Damian Priest, who once again rocked out to his theme music that was played by a electric guitarist. Fucking awesome entrances, awesome attires, but overall the Sin City Street Fight was freaking amazing. Honestly, there was still stabs involved, there was still chairs, hypno sticks, you name it, even multiple tables. We had finishers, we had claymores and a 2 count, Razor's Edge and a 2 count. We had multiple close calls and forced finishes. But overall, the end of the match, it was Damian Priest who was in the freaking corner with his head in between a steel chair, and it was a 3, 2, 1 Claymore onto the steel chair, onto Damian Priest, and the winner of the match, Drew McIntyre. What a match! And my god, I can't wait to see what happens next for Drew McIntyre. And of course, the next match was the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker having a singlet that represented his uncle, Scott Steiner, with the whole white on the left hand side, and his dad with the Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner's on the right hand side. That was amazing. Penta's first WrestleMania. He came out looking good. Rey Mysterio had his mask himself and took it off on the entrance. This match was a banger. Honestly, there was so many times where I thought it was going to end. I thought Braun Breaker was going to retain the title after hitting a spear. I thought that Penta hitting the Penta driver onto Dominic Mysterio was going to get the win. It came down to the end, where Dominic Mysterio hit the 619 onto Braun Breaker. And then, of course, with Finn Balor, getting really pissed off. He actually hit the coup de grace onto a Braun Breaker as well. But of course, then Dominic, he capitalized by hitting the frog splash onto Finn Balor to break up the pin, pinning Finn Balor, mind you, 1, 2, 3, and Dominic Mysterio is now your new Intercontinental Champion. Now here's a match I forgot to make predictions for because I didn't know at the time if Randy Orton was going to make it to WrestleMania. But I ended up watching SmackDown and found out that he didn't care who came out at WrestleMania. He was going to lace up his pair of boots, put on his gear, and he was going to put on just the right amount of baby oil, his words, not mine. And he was going to wait to see who would appear. And speaking of the man who would appear as his opponent at WrestleMania, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. That's right, Joe, the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry, appears at WrestleMania, actually manages to get some momentum in. He hits a throwaway slam. He does his signature pose in the middle of the ring, turns around to face the crowd, but gets hit with an RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton picks up the win. Quick match. Was it worth it? Absolutely. To see Joe Hendry at WrestleMania facing a legend like Randy Orton is without a doubt one of the best things you'll ever see. Go and watch it. It was a great match. Well, this match isn't really worth reviewing. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. You know my feelings about Logan Paul. He had an impressive entrance. I will admit he had multiple cameras facing him. He even looked into a drone, which was a very cool entrance. AJ Styles looked phenomenal. No pun intended. In the end, it was AJ Styles that cost himself the match because Karrion Kross stopped one of Logan Paul's cronies from actually entering the ring with some brass knucks. He said, use the brass knucks, AJ, use them. Or he wasn't calling him AJ, he was calling him Alan. So that was trying to piss him off to try and use them. Didn't put it off AJ Styles one bit. And then Logan Paul hit the impersonator. And, one thing led to another, and that was it. The winner of the match, Logan Paul. And the next match was supposed to be the Women's Intercontinental Champion and Bayley versus the Women's Tag Team Champions Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan of the Judgment Day. However, my friend Jackson, after watching the night one, was to tell me that on the Countdown show, Bayley got attacked by someone random. And of course, well, later on, I will say, figured out that the person to replace Bayley, when I watched the match, it was no other than Becky Lynch, the returning Becky Lynch. But that was pretty amazing. To see Becky Lynch back, and because of that reason, they won. That's right, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch became your new Women's Tag Team Champions. Who knows what's going to happen now? I don't know. I will have to wait and see on Monday Night Raw. Because, this is, I haven't seen Raw yet. But we will see what happens then. And, let's see what happens with Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch as the new Women's Tag Team Champions. And, of course, the main event was the undisputed WWE Championship match between the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes taking on the 16-time World Champion John Cena. Now this was a very interesting match. It started off alright with everyone singing along to the whoa to Cody Rhodes at the beginning and everyone booing John Cena when he came out too. But just like when Hulk Hogan faced The Rock at WrestleMania 18, halfway through the match, fans turned on Cody a little bit. But then, and they were cheering for Let's Go Cena, that Cena sucks. Because let's face it, you can't, at this point in his career, even being a heel, no one's going to try and take this seriously. So he's trying his hardest, he really is. So much so that in order to win this match, he gave Cody Rhodes the chance. He really did. There was a back and forth. There was crossroads. There was Cody Cutters, disaster kicks, 5-knuckle shuffle attempts, STF attempts, attitude adjustment attempts. You name it, they gave it their all. Even a super attitude adjustment from John Cena wasn't enough. But it took for the referee to get knocked out, and for Travis Scott to walk his fucking slow ass down to the fucking ring going, hurry up, Travis, you ain't got all day, to get involved to kind of distract Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes took him out at the end, and of course John Cena, gets the WWE Undisputed Championship in the ring, and he's like, but Cody Rhodes blocks it, and he takes the title away from him, and John Cena's like, come on, do it, you know you want to. He gave him the choice, either be the B guy or a good guy. But Cody Rhodes was like, oh, I can't do this, and he dropped the belt on the floor. And John Cena took advantage of that, and well, he picked up the championship himself, and he whacked Cody Rhodes over the head with that very championship. And he got Travis Scott threw the referee in the ring, and that was it. 1, 2, 3, and now is the 17-time world champion John Cena. Now, I don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown, because I know on Raw the night of the WrestleMania, we will have to wait and see. But by God, this is going to be interesting now. Are we going to be able to take John Cena seriously? Or is he going to roast us at every chance that he gets? And there you go. There you have it. That is the WrestleMania Night 2 review. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this video. Now, obviously, you probably are watching this a little bit later, and it's already been and gone the night of WrestleMania. The Raw after WrestleMania is probably, been and gone by the time this has been uploaded. I'm going to be truthfully say, I don't know. But if it has, yay, I'm glad that we saw it. But hey, I don't know. I'm recording this literally as night 2. This is literally on night 2. Like, for me, I watched Saturdays on Sunday, and this is Monday that I'm watching it. So tonight will be Raw, and I will be watching it on SmackDown tonight on the Raw after WrestleMania tonight. So by the time you see this video, it will be uploaded. Maybe it might be uploaded in a week later. I don't know. I've got a big schedule. I've got work to do, like everyone. But this is WrestleMania Night 2. So, yeah. Next up is Backlash. John Cena's gonna be there most likely, because he's the new champ. And well, the champ is here. And as I said on FAW, I'm also a former world champion. But in all seriousness, I will see you on the Backlash predictions and review, which will be live in St. Louis, Missouri. And until then, bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to subscribe. If you want to watch the previous video, then click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the playlist that's on the right.